Imagine an ordinary walk through the forest. You are walking along a narrow trail. Everything around you is quiet. You can hear only the wind in the leaves and branches cracking under your feet. And suddenly, you realize you are not alone. Somewhere nearby, there is a bear. At that moment, almost everyone has the same thought. You need to run. But there is a problem. If you run, you will almost certainly lose, because it is nearly impossible to outrun a bear. And today, we will explain why. And more importantly, what can actually save your life if you ever meet one. Most people imagine bears incorrectly. In their minds, a bear looks heavy, slow, even a little clumsy. Sometimes people imagine a lazy animal that slowly shifts from paw to paw and spends most of its time sleeping. But this is an illusion. In reality, the brown bear is one of the fastest predators in the northern forest. It can reach speeds of about 55 kilometers per hour. That is faster than a human can run, even faster than most professional athletes. Olympic sprinters reach top speeds of about 44 kilometers per hour, and that is already the limit of human ability. For a bear, that speed is only the beginning, because the most important thing is not the speed itself. The most important thing is how quickly the bear reaches it. A bear is not a marathon runner. It is a sprinter. It does not need to run for long. Just a few powerful strides are enough. Within seconds, it can close the distance, faster than a human can react. At the same time, a bear is surprisingly agile. Despite its massive weight, it can easily change direction. It can turn suddenly. It can accelerate even faster. It can move across uneven terrain more efficiently than a human. But the most impressive fact is this: a bear can catch a moose. And a moose is one of the fastest animals in the forest. An adult moose can reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, yet even it sometimes becomes prey. This tells us one important thing. If a bear decides to chase a target, escaping is almost impossible. There is another reason why running is especially dangerous. When a person starts running, an ancient instinct is triggered, the prey instinct. For a bear, a running object automatically becomes something to chase, even if the bear had no intention of attacking before. It might have only been watching. It might have simply been passing by. But a running person changes the situation. In the predator's mind, this is no longer a random encounter. This becomes prey. And that is when the bear begins pursuit, sometimes without even realizing it, simply because that is how its brain works. It might have only been watching. It might have simply been passing by. When people think about the danger of a bear, they usually imagine its claws, or its teeth, or its enormous weight. But the most dangerous weapon a bear has is its nose. A bear's sense of smell is several times stronger than a dog. It can detect food from kilometers away, even if it is hidden, even if it is packed, even if it is inside a tent. Sometimes bears find people not because they see them, but because they smell food. Sometimes even a simple chocolate bar is enough, or cookies, or even toothpaste. Even small things like these can attract a bear. There is one surprising fact. Most encounters between humans and bears end without an attack. And that may seem strange, because a bear is much stronger than a human, faster than a human, and more dangerous than a human. But bears do not usually see humans as prey. In most cases, bears try to avoid people. They leave first, they step back, they disappear into the forest. Problems usually begin only when a person behaves incorrectly. Very often, it is human behavior that turns an encounter into a dangerous situation. When a person suddenly encounters a bear in the forest, they have only a few seconds to react. And in those seconds, most people make this same mistake. They begin acting instinctively. Some scream. Some try to run. Some grab their phones to record the moment. Others take a step closer, simply out of curiosity. But a bear is not an animal you can experiment with. Every sudden movement is seen as a signal of threat. Every loud sound makes the bear more alert. And running away almost always turns a person into something the bear may chase. There is another dangerous mistake people often make. Many try to look directly into the bear's eyes. They believe it shows confidence. But to a bear, direct eye contact is a challenge. It is the language of threat, and bears understand that language very well. Not all bears behave the same way, and this knowledge can save your life. In North America, the two most common species are the brown bear and the black bear. They may look similar, but they react differently to humans. If you encounter a brown bear, it is often defending territory or its cubs. In this situation, it is important to show that you are not a threat. The best response is to slowly step backward and avoid sudden movements. Sometimes even lying still can help. But if you encounter a black bear, the situation changes. Black bears are more likely to see a human as potential prey. In this case, it is important to make yourself look larger. Raise your arms, speak loudly, and be ready to defend yourself. Understanding this difference is extremely important. A bear does not plan an attack in advance. It does not hunt humans intentionally. Instead, it evaluates the situation. It analyzes smells. It listens to sounds. It watches movement. If the bear understands that the figure in front of it is a human and not prey, it will usually leave. But if a person behaves suddenly, runs, shouts, or moves closer, the bear begins to interpret the situation differently. For the bear, this is no longer a random encounter. It becomes a potential threat, and that is when the bear makes a decision. Several years ago, a tourist in Canada was walking along a forest trail near a mountain lake. He heard a sound ahead of him. A few seconds later, he saw a bear. The distance between them was only a few meters. He did not run. He stopped. He began speaking calmly. He slowly stepped backward, then another step, and another. The bear watched him for several seconds. Then it turned and walked back into the forest. Later, the tourist said that knowing what to do helped him stay calm and possibly saved his life. A bear is not an evil animal. It does not hunt humans on purpose, but it is faster, stronger, and more dangerous than it may appear at first glance. Most encounters with bears end peacefully, as long as a person does not make a mistake. Now you know the most important rule of the forest. If you meet a bear, never run. Stop, stay calm, and give the bear a chance to leave first. Sometimes that decision can become the most important one in your life.